Hi, Soul Family. This is Melanie, the Spirit Doula, and today's message is going to be all about the higher self. What really is the higher self? Hi, Soul Family. This is Melanie, the Spirit Doula. Okay, so many of you have heard this phrase, higher self, but many of you really don't understand what it is, okay? Now, if you're one of my students, you know what it is because I have broken it down to you, but I know that a lot of people really don't understand this term, this phrase, because I hear people using it without true understanding. So I'm gonna break it down what that is, okay? The reason why I'm discussing this is because I've had many consultations and I will begin to speak about the higher self. You guys know that I say you have to meditate to connect to your higher self, right? But when I ask people, like in consultations or just randomly, what is the higher self? I get a bevy of answers, okay? And none of them are really practical. I will hear that it is your subconscious, your higher spirit, the inner part of you, the inner voice, your inner knowing. And I always say, so what does that mean? What is it then? You know? And people really don't have an idea. So there's a lot of words or phrases that are just passed around or said, you know, in the spiritual community or subconscious community, and people really don't understand what it is. And one of these things is a higher self. And this is important that you know exactly what the higher self is, okay? Because if you don't really know what it is, how can you really tap into it and use the power that is in the higher self, okay? You need to understand what this is, like almost before anything else, all right? Because this is you. So I'm gonna break it down to you. Okay, so I did a video on reincarnation. Yes, reincarnation is real. You need to just know that, okay? Watch the video. I'm gonna put the link down below that in which I was talking about reincarnation, okay? So yes, we are reincarnated. This is not our first life here, okay? I'm talking to you, my soul family, okay? So let's talk about what the higher self is. Me, this is Melanie. My name is Melanie, okay? And I live here. This is 2020, okay? That's me. I am a spirit, Melanie, the spirit Melanie, okay? There will not be another Melanie like me. I am 1 in 480 trillion. Yes, that is actually the number. I came in at a certain date. I came in at a certain time. There's only one me, okay? So let's talk about that. And I'm gonna grab my marker and draw this for you. So this is me, Melanie, okay? Can you guys see? Okay. Now, Melanie has had many lifetimes. I've lived many lifetimes before. I'm going to draw my lifetimes. All of my past lives. One time, my name was Shira. One time, my name was Anna. One time, my name was, I'm making this up, guys, for the most part, Michael. One time, my name was, I don't know, Philip. I was a Mary. So I'm just, all of my individual past lives, I'm just going to draw them here. And there were plenty, thousands upon thousands, okay? So these are all of my past lives. Melanie, all of my past lives, okay? So in all of these past lives, they come together. If you grew up in the 80s, it's like the Transformers. If you grew up in the 90s, it's like the Power Rangers. But all of these together, right, make this You guys, I can't draw too well. Make this mega being, okay? This is supposed to be the shape of a body, okay? It makes this mega being, okay? This is your higher self. Think of it as a giant form of all of your past lives. All of your past lives come together. They form arms, heads, all these parts of the body. This is your higher self. This is your higher self, okay? This one here, she existed 50,000 years ago. This one here existed in the 1920s. This one here around 3,000 years ago. This one here 100,000 years ago. She existed during the time of Atlantis. And maybe she existed during the time of ancient Kemet, okay? This is the higher self, all right? Each individual spirit is what in ancient Kemet they called the Ka. This is the Ka, okay? So this higher self is also known as the Ka. In the Ka, we have what ancient Kemet calls the Ba. Now, you don't need to know all of this, but I just want to really dive in deep with you, okay? I'm going to read from a book by Master Mfudishi. This is a book that I received about 5 years ago. I was at a festival African festival in Brooklyn, and my friend introduced me to Master Mfudishi, and he gifted me this book, wrote me a really cool note inside. And so I'm going to read to you what he wrote in here. The name of the book is called Spiritual Warriors Are Healers. Amazing book. When I first got it, I was like, what am I going to do with this? And then I started really diving in. So it talks about ancient Kemet. It really does a really great breakdown of ancient Kemet and deities, and just a wealth of information in this book. Okay, so he describes the Ka, or ancient Kemet. The Ka was described as the abstract personality or ego. The ego is your subconscious desires, and it develops the concept of self. Ka is also called the energy body or the double, okay? So that is the Ka, right? This creature is the Ka, all right? Now let's talk about the Ba. The Ba is the soul, which dwells in the Ka with the power of metamorphosis. The soul is your higher self, okay? So we have this Ka of all of these individual spirits, okay? Like I told you the names, Anna, Mike, Shira, all these individual spirits in this Ka. But inside of this whole thing is called the Ba, okay? The soul. This is your higher self. Why is this important? Why is this important? Because you may have heard me say that everything you need is inside of you. You really don't have to go outside to get the information that you need for you. You need a ritual, go inside. Why? Because all of these spirits, all of these past lives are you. They reincarnated over and over and over again to become more and more perfect each lifetime to come into this lifetime, okay? If you have something in you that is 100,000 years old, that's from ancient Kemet or ancient Atlantis, right? Or even 2,000 years ago, right? That means that that individual spirit lived during that time. They have information during that time, which means that all you have to do is connect to that, which is you, to get the information, okay? You wanna know about what was happening 50,000 years ago? Connect to that individual, get that, okay? Not just that, but each individual lived a life and they had a purpose in their particular life, okay? Maybe they were a doctor, maybe they were a street sweeper, maybe they were a prostitute, okay? And not prostitute how we see it now, okay, guys? Prostitute is sacred profession, technically, okay? So we won't go there. But maybe they did have certain aspects about themselves that they perfected in their lifetime. When you need help with something, you go to them. So for example, um, I had one of my past lives was a chemist. Okay, this chemist lived during ancient Atlantis time. So there was always something in me that connected to chemistry, that loved chemistry. And I really didn't understand what it was until I realized one of my past lives. So whenever I'm trying to do some sort of chemical combination, or when I'm working in my business creating something for one of my clients, I connect to that chemist. Okay, it's within me. Okay. One of them was a judge in a past life. So whenever I have to place judgment or make a serious decision, I connect to that one in the past life. Okay. Do you understand? So if you are able to connect to these individuals in your past lives, then you have all the answers. All the answers. Okay. You have spiritual teachers, spiritual healers. I have healers. I have plenty of healers that were in this past life, in my past lives, which is all part of my DNA. It's all in me. All right. So many of you are like, I don't know what I should be doing. I like this, I like that. The reason why you like so many things, or you know so many things, is because you are tapped in to your higher self. Why I tell you to connect to your higher self? Because your higher self is you. Your higher self knows you better than you, right? You know, when you get really upset and you're about to have an argument with someone and you hear a voice that's like, don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Don't even say it. Just walk away. That's your higher self, okay? That may have been one of your past lives that they let anger overtake them, and maybe they stabbed someone and they ended up in prison for the rest of their life. And they're telling you, we know you because we are you. And we don't want you to make the same mistake. So walk away, okay? Or maybe one of your past lives were in a very abusive relationship. Okay. And maybe you're dating someone and they're like, he's no good for you. And you're like, oh, but I love him. He's so handsome. He has a lot of money. He has a nice car. He's funny, right? And they're saying he's not the one. And you have this feeling inside of you that's like, oh, I just feel like something's not right. That may be one of your past lives that was in an abusive relationship, that was not in a good relationship, that knows how you're going to be in this relationship, and it's like, don't do it, because when I did it, it didn't work out good. Okay? This is you being tapped into your higher self, and this is why it's so important, because every lifetime, okay, all of these individuals, they lived their life, they messed up, they came back again. You came back again, and you're like, this time I'm going to get it right. You messed up. Every time there was a reincarnation, every time you came back, you tried to perfect something, every time, okay? And this time is the time that you should have perfected it. For example, for me, this is my last time being here. I'm supposed to ascend. I have all these experiences, all these mess ups and muck ups in my past. And my higher self is like, don't do that, Melanie. Do this, do that. I listen on a daily basis. I'm connecting on a daily basis, okay, to what I am being told, okay? So before you try to connect to any deities, any ascended masters, it is important, it is vital, it is everything that you are connecting to your higher self, okay? I hope you understand now what the higher self is. I hope you understand the importance of connecting to your higher self, and I hope that you will make this a daily practice of doing so, all right? I love you all. Please remember to like this video, share it with other people that you know, don't know what the higher self is, okay? Subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, leave it below. If you have any personal questions, email me at thespiritdoula@gmail.com. And if you are just confused, you're like, I don't know why I'm here, what my mission is, what I'm supposed to be doing at this time, schedule a reading with me. And you can go to thespiritdoula.com to go ahead and schedule your reading. Okay? I love you all. Remember, you are always guided, protected, and loved. All right. Peace. See you later.